Hello and welcome back to another Out of Spec Bits episode, which means we have a bit of something to share with you. And today that is news on the Rivian R2. Obviously, we know it's been coming, and I was actually at the launch event, like the unveiling of it, now just over a year ago, I think it was. And we knew it was coming, somewhere in the line of early 2026, which means around a year from now. So, at the launch event, it was like 2 years from then. And it was like, oh, that feels like forever away. But now here we are a year later and a year out, and we have some more updates to share from the company itself, Rivian, and this guy named RJ, who seems to also be sharing stuff from the company. And of course, I like to bring my dear friend Jose in from Rivian Tracker. He is, of course, a wealth of Rivian knowledge as well. So it's fun to nerd out and look at stories like this with Jose. Welcome to the show, Jose. How are you doing?
Good, Jordan. How are you?
Great. And I'm personally excited for this. I mean, I've been excited for R2 ever since that unveiling. Of course, R3X stole the spotlight just a bit, but we're still even further out from R3 and R3X, admittedly. But I'm excited about R2 because two things. I think it's going to be a huge seller for Rivian. It's bringing the price of the vehicles down, which is most people's issue. A lot of people unanimously agree R1 is a great product, but they are a bit expensive. However, if you're in the market for R1, let me just shamelessly plug right now. I'm going to have Kyle's referral and Jose's referral in the description below. What's also interesting is I'm hoping to maybe have an R2 in the household whenever that comes out. Maybe not at launch, but my girlfriend Jess has a 4Runner, which is, kind of what feels like the old-fashioned predecessor to the R2, even down to the rear window rolling down. Dimensionally, everything really makes sense as that's the next vehicle. So I personally am intrigued by this upcoming product. And so Rivian sent out an email today. So I guess I don't know if you could show that or if you want to reference it. But Rivian sent out an email basically pointing to this website, which is a piece on their website. And for those of you watching, that is, building for R2, which is pretty neat. So I guess as a summary, as we get into this, is they're expanding their current manufacturing plant in Normal, Illinois, which is where, of course, R1S, R1T, and the Rivian van are all built. They are now expanding it from the current, 4.3 million square feet, adding another 1.1 million. So it's roughly a 25% expansion, which is not a small feat to prepare for this next vehicle. What am I missing?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, once this is complete, the Normal plant will be able to dish out 215,000 total units per year. Right now, I can see where people would be like, oh, that number is small, right? But remember, like, Rivian is still working on building out their Georgia factory, right? That is where, technically speaking, R3, R3X will be built out, but also it was designed for R2, right? And so what we're looking at here is Rivian kind of expediting R2 as it was announced, when we went to the unveiling. They were like, we're building it in Normal so we can get it out faster, right? Because otherwise it would have taken God knows how many more years to build out the Georgia factory. So we're seeing a smaller capacity coming out of Normal, but still the fact that we're getting the R2 vehicles out of there, I think it's very exciting.
Do you know the current capacity of unit capability that Rivian has? Are they sharing that?
Not off the top of my head. I could probably find out, but I don't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I mean,
it is interesting that they're basically. It reminds me of what Tesla did. Back with I guess was that Fremont factory where they built the tent to help handle additional chaos of Model 3 ramping up. This feels like Rivian's building a tent, but it's another factory. It's like not just a tent, which is good. So it should be, hopefully we won't see the build quality issues we saw of early tent built cars from Tesla. Sure, they did deliver them, and that's the main thing. But very curious to see how this is, how is this expansion treated? Is it going to be this is where the R2s are built at this factory, and then everything else, the original 4.3 million square feet, is kept R1? Or are they just adding on total capacity, and then the entire new 5.4 now million square feet is going to become everything, R1, R2, everything in between?
Yeah. While you were talking, I looked it up because I had to know. And like these numbers change, right? They changed after the closure last year of the factory for revamping for Gen 2. But 150,000 vehicles is what normal can produce today, right? So we're adding an additional 65,000 vehicles a year produced with this 1.1 million square foot expansion.
Right.
So total will be 215,000. And honestly, like between you and I, what I'm thinking is going to happen is ramp down R1, right? We'll probably see minimal R1. They'll probably, because once R2 rolls out, I think they're going to go hard on getting as much, out of it, right? So they're going to get every line. And if demand for R2 exceeds what they can produce at a given time, we'll definitely see them, bring down R1 lines, maybe, reduce them to like a night shift or something. Who knows, right?
Right.
But they'll have consecutive lines running. If I'm not mistaken, three or four lines running, where they'll be able to do that, and they'll reprioritize as necessary. If R1T is not selling hot, then they'll focus on R2 and R1S, right? And whatever it may be. So the idea behind these lines is that they'll be able to benefit from being as efficient as possible, so they can swap out and do what needs to happen.
Right. And a few things to note here is that they had to actually, I guess, eradicate a previously existing test track, but don't worry, they're building a new test track, which will be probably super awesome. I'd love to go visit it at some point. But that's partially what they got rid of to make space for this new expansion. And they also pointed out that this is like not only on schedule, but like ahead of schedule. So a lot of people, and maybe this is a question for you, Jose, too, like how are you feeling about the timeline? I mean, you remember when R2 was unveiled and they were like, okay, early 2026, and that was 2 years away, which felt like forever, which
it did.
Surely they can get it done, but also we see delays every day in the automotive space. Very rarely does it feel like a product comes to market when it was originally intended. So how do you feel about this progress now in light of this Rivian sharing this, but even before then?
Yeah, so honestly, I'm going to say this, and it'll probably bite me in the butt later, but I do feel like they are, I don't want to say ahead, but definitely leading the charge on trying to be on schedule and on time as much as possible. Rivian has been very clear to not specify when in 2026 R2 is going to be out. But truthfully, I think they're trying to aim as early as possible, right? Because I think in an ideal world, if they can get vehicles ramped up and everything, these new buildings kind of handed over to production and all that, then, we could maybe start seeing R2 roll off the line at the end of this year, tail end of this year, and whether they go to consumers is a different story, but at least start rolling out inventory and having them sit there. That is a complete and utter assumption, right? That's why I'm saying it could come back and be like, Jose said that. And many people on the internet will argue that, and everybody has their own opinions and thoughts, and that's fine. But the fact that Rivian even specifically called out in this article that even through the tough winter season that Illinois had, they still managed to progress with construction, right there it talks about it. So they're expecting the roof to go in any day now, and then they can start working on interior work, which will be a major milestone for Rivian as well to get that going.
Right. So it's still too early to tell, but ultimately Rivian, I mean, they initially said early 2026. That could mean anything in the first half of the year. And that's still what they're claiming is the first half of the year, which is a very vague, wide spread of time. But it's hard to know I mean, maybe it's good that they're leaving it ambiguous, because as we've seen with, especially Tesla, the whole like over promise, under deliver thing doesn't work out super well. And they might just deliver like 8 R2s in the first half of the year, maybe to employees, which would be kind of a bummer, kind of sleazy, but technically correct. But realistically, I could see, I'm hoping for a ramping of deliveries by Q2, which would be incredible. It is a bummer that it's not further along than it is. I mean, now, like, imagine if R2 was coming on sale a year earlier, right now, in this season where everyone and their mother is like, we can't buy a Tesla in good conscience. That's what Rivian really needed. Sure, many people are pivoting to R1T and R1S, but not that many people because of the price point.
I literally had this conversation earlier today with Zach, Jerry Rig Everything. I did a podcast with him, and we talked about this, that if R2 was out today, like, I'm sure Rivian's like slapping themselves in the face, like, why didn't we like do this? Like, I mean, there's no way to know, right? There was no way to tell the current landscape of things, but everybody is begging for R2, and I think Rivian truly is working as fast as they can. I don't think that, like, legally, I don't think they can do anything more other than tell people to work overtime and, start putting a sweatshop together. I think that they are doing it as fast as they can, and they're gonna want to get vehicles out as soon as they can, because there is a demand for this type of vehicle in the market right now. And you're right, not everybody can afford a $100,000 R1.
Right. So that's the main news, was just the expansion of the factory in Normal, which is cool to see. I'd still love to go see it. But the other thing, we can mention is RJ had just previously shown this e-coat situation, which is a point towards actual production. This is not something you spin up to do more concepts. I mean, this is like a serious process to get the paint actually ready for production. And tell us what's happening here in this photo.
So the vehicle here, you can see the body assembly being kind of lowered into a liquid. That's kind of a greenish liquid. This is called e-coating, so this allows, this is a coat that gets put on all vehicles for corrosion purposes, so like it helps against corrosion and rusting and all that good stuff. And so we're seeing, last week, actually, RJ had shared, these photos of the full assembled kind of body of R2 in its aluminum state being completed. And so now we're seeing, every week I feel like we're getting progress pictures as it's happening, which is great. But one kind of cool tidbit that RJ shared is that the liquid, which is kind of green, is what actually inspired Rivian to come up with the Launch Green Edition color for the original R1. So that, like, kind of, I gotta look it up now so you can see it for those who don't know and are watching. But it's kind of this Launch Green,
right,
is kind of what they got inspired by. And so RJ did tease that potentially R2 would get a Launch Green color variant as well. He teased it as maybe we should do it, but let's be honest, it's going to happen because people want it, right? Like, why wouldn't they do it? And I'm sure, I'm sure that Rivian wants to have as many colors where they can share amongst the family.
Right. That's what I was going to say. Rivian's known for great colors, which is awesome. And Launch Green has a huge fan base. Compass Yellow, notably, has a huge fan base, even though it is now defunct. I would love to see, RJ, I would love to see a Launch Yellow. Like, bring back a shade of yellow, maybe even more muted. I don't know. We just saw the Dune colorway come out. So, like, they do like having colors as a special thing. So we will totally see launch colors on R2 and R3 and R3X. Really curious what those will be, but Launch Green would be a fun throwback, even if it was, again, temporary only on launch models. I think that does kind of make it special. I get excited every time I see a Launch Green. I get more excited when I see Compass Yellow, but alas, here we are. So
and I mean, the owners who have Launch Green I know plenty of people who have Launch Green who refuse to sell their Rivian. The same thing with Compass Yellow. They're like, this is a rarity, and truly, like, they love it. And so they're like, Gen 2, they're not getting that. I'm going to keep my launch green or my Compass yellow. And so, yeah, there is a dedicated fan base. Unfortunately, for Compass yellow, it just wasn't enough people.
Right.
And for launch green, it was always designed to be a limited run color. So that's fair. So I think if we see a launch green R2, it will totally be a limited run color as well, right? They'll produce a certain amount. But hopefully, I think Jordan, you and I can both agree, anything exciting over California Dune, which is not a very exciting color.
Yeah, I'll get excited for whatever. We're grasping at news such as this, and so thanks for joining us and unpacking it. Let us know what your thoughts are on R2 itself. It's the progress, and I don't know. Does this lead any more questions for R2 or versus R3, R3X? That's a lot to keep track of nowadays. Of course, they just came off of being one of the hits at South by Southwest, so that was a great, good deal. And that's where Kyle, recently did some of his R3X content, R3 content, kind of his wish list. And a lot of those wish list items are things that do fall under R2 as well. We'll probably do a dedicated video on that soon here. But yeah, appreciate you joining, Jose. And once again, we'll have our referrals down below for all of you folks out there who are looking at maybe potentially picking up a Rivian, getting a little kickback yourself. And to us, appreciate the support as creators who are trying to bring you the news, the details, everything as fast as possible. So until next time, we'll see you guys very soon.